So this is my 1993 Mark 4 Supra, but it has a problem. So as you heard from that clip, something isn't quite right. It sounds quite bad, to be honest. I did put some pictures up there with that clip showing the aftermath of an oil change. So it looks like there's some metal shavings in there, and since that oil change it has quietened it down a little bit. But the diff that's currently in this car is an AO1B, so my thoughts are we'll swap the diffs over before I do any further damage to this, because they are worth quite a bit, to be honest. So let's get into swapping the diffs over. So that's what we're doing in this video. I've purchased another diff for this car with a slightly different gear ratio. So I'm going to swap the diffs over and hopefully that fixes it. But let's get into it. So underneath the car, it's quite a simple setup really. We just have to take these Allen key bolts out of the drive shafts, undo the bolts at the front of the diff, undo these Allen key bolts at the back, the drive shaft on the other side, and of course we have to do the prop at the front of the diff. By the look of this diff, I'm going to assume this has never ever been taken off this car, to be honest. So let's get into removing it. But before we do get into that, I'm just going to spray the bolts just to make sure that I try and not snap anything basically. I'm only going to do the drive shaft bolts because the front diff bolts go into the body, so they're not going to be rusty, and the prop shaft's been off before, whereas these bolts are subject to the outside elements, so to speak. But once they've all been sprayed, I'll let that soak in and we can get on to removing them. Moving on to removing the bolts. So these are a size 12 Allen key bolt. I did have to use a breaker bar to loosen all these off at first because they were extremely tight. Like I say, my thoughts are this diff's probably never been off this car, to be honest. Which means that these drive shaft bolts, the drive shafts, etc. have probably been untouched for the last 32 years. And because of that, the drive shafts are stuck into these cups extremely well. So even when the bolts are out, it still takes a decent sized lump hammer to hit them just to free them out of the cups. Because of the design of this diff, so because the shafts go into the cup, once the shafts are out, you've not got to worry about it leaking fluid anywhere because the cup essentially seals the diff so no fluid can come out, and then the shaft bolts to that cup, if that makes sense. So we're getting close to having all of these drive shaft bolts out now. Once they're done, we can move on to the next areas. So the first thing we're going to touch on is the prop shaft bolts. There is 6 17mm bolts in here, but you only need to do 3 of them. Once the prop shaft's free, we're going to move on to the back of the diff. So these are a size 14 Allen key bolt. Because this is a factory NA car, we only have a bush on the left hand side, whereas on the twin turbos you'd have a bush on the right hand side with just one bolt through it. As you can see, the diff supports it and the subframe supports it as well, so we could quite easily have 2 bushes in this, but for some reason the NA cars just never got it. Once they're out, it's then time to move on to undoing the bolts at the front of the diff, just holding it into the car, which from memory were a 19mm. And once they're out, with a bit of work just to try and get the drive shafts out of the way, etc., the diff can now come out of the car. So that's the old diff out of the car, and that's the new diff that we've got to put in it. So this diff here is an AO1B, which means it's a AO1's the gear ratio, so it's slightly higher ratio. That's an AO2A. The B on the end, that means this is LSD, that's open. But my plan is, not in this video but later on, we will take the LSD out of this diff and put it into this one. Because the car's R154, the AO2 is a better suited gear ratio to the AO1 basically. One thing I've had to do is this little drive shaft spline at the front. This was bigger on this diff, so I had to swap them over. So this one on it now is off of this diff here. But let's get this diff fitted. So before we get into fitting this diff, I'm just going to drain the old fluid out and fill it up with some fresh fluid. But going back to the differences between the diffs, because I don't think I explained it that good in the video, so hence I'm just going to do it now. Basically, the reason the flange needed swapping over is because an AO2A is off a factory twin turbo car, and because it's a twin turbo, the flanges are ever so slightly bigger. I don't know if the prop shaft itself is any bigger, but the flanges are different. That's why we had to swap the flanges over, because my car isn't a twin turbo. And then getting into the gear ratio differences, so the AO1B is a 4:1 gear ratio, whereas the AO2 is a 3.7, so it will just bring the gear ratio down a little bit, which will help once the car's turboed. That's enough rambling about the differences between the diffs. Let's get the new one fitted. So the first thing I'm going to do to get this diff in, I'm just going to do the brace which holds the prop up. It just goes above the exhaust. You can't really see it that well in this clip, but I'm just doing that so the prop can come down even lower, and then I can push the diff so that it slides into the prop, and then pretty much just jack the back end of the diff up until it's in the right place. So for this, my jack wasn't quite big enough. As you can see, it's maxed out there and the diff isn't high enough, so I had to put an axle stand at the front of the diff and then I could take the jack out and then just put the jack on some wood, and then it would lift high enough so that the diff just slots into place perfectly. Once the diff was in place, I then had to try and get the drive shafts in. I started off by putting one of the front mount bolts in, but then I realised that the drive shafts weren't in place and they didn't seem to go in that nicely, so I had to loosen that off a little bit, and then I could pop both the drive shafts in quite easily. So once the drive shafts were in, I then went to the back of the diff to try and get these 2 hex bolts into the back. So like I said earlier, these are a size 14 Allen key bolt. So for these, I did have to put them in slowly, so to speak. So I had to put one in at like 50%, then the other one in, then I could tighten them both up properly. If I tightened one up first before putting the other one in, then you couldn't get the other one in. But once both of them are in, it was then time to go back to the front of the diff and get the 19mm bolts that bolt the diff into the actual chassis. Again, these didn't go in that smooth, to be fair. Like, it took a few attempts to get them to go in right, just playing around with the jack and moving the diff around, etc., until they went in nicely. Because the last thing I want to do is cross-thread any of these bolts. I can only presume it's because of the weight of the diff, because these are very heavy, so it does require the diff to be perfect to actually get the bolts in perfect, if that makes sense. I don't think the bolts will drag the diff into the right position. The diff almost has to be put into the right position. But once the diff's all bolted up, it's then time to get the prop shaft bolted up. So these are just 17mm nut and bolts. So again, you're just putting them on. Obviously the wheels have to be in the air, the handbrake has to be off, just so that you can spin the prop around freely and get to all the bolts basically. And then once the prop shaft's all bolted up, it's now time to finally get the drive shafts bolted in. So there's 6 bolts and 2 C-shaped washers per side for this. So like I said earlier, the size 12 Allen key bolts. The little C washers, you'll see them if you've took them off, but basically 3 bolts go in each. So I don't think it matters how they go on as long as they are on, because obviously you can't overlap them or anything like that. But yeah, for each side there's 6 bolts and 2 washers. So that's the driver's side all bolted up. Now we've just got to bolt the passenger side up. So now I've finished bolting up the passenger side drive shaft, it's just time to put this bracing back, which I removed just to make it easier to get the prop shaft into the diff. I can't quite remember if these are 12mm bolts or 14mm bolts, but either way, it's just 4 bolts which bolt straight into the chassis. And once that's done, the diff is now fitted to the Supra. So that's the new diff in the car. Now the last thing to do is take it for a drive and see if we've made that noise disappear. Let's go. So I've just taken the car for a drive, and as you've heard from that clip, it sounds a lot better than what it did at the start of the video. It does make sense that that diff that was in the car has probably never had an oil change in its life, to be honest. This car, if you don't know the background story of it, is a 1993. It got imported into the UK in 2004, so in them first 11 years of its life, it's probably never had a diff oil change, to be honest. It could have, but I can't imagine it would have. And even if it did, it still is like 20 years ago minimum. But it came into the UK in 2004, it stayed on the road for 3 years and then failed an MOT in 2007. And then it sat from 2007 until 2020. So in them 13 years, it's definitely never had an oil change. And then I bought it in 22. So it makes sense that the diff's probably never had an oil change, which is probably why the bearings have started to go, if that is what's failing. But yeah, there was some metal shavings in it. We've swapped the diff over and now the sound's gone. So you may have heard on the clip there's still a bit of noise there, but I think that's probably just this gearbox, to be honest. The 0154 is known to be a bit agriculturally, and I'm not really sure if that noise was there at the start, if I'm honest, because the diff noise has been starting on and off for like quite a few months. So truthfully, I don't know if that noise was there at the start or if the gearbox is starting to make a noise as well. I'm not 100% sure, but that's it for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and be sure to check in on the next video. I'll see you there.